Yeah,
Um,
top movies.
Solid Friday night to try to find something to watch.
Yeah.
So you got 5 picks. I got 5 picks. I started to pull some of yours up and try to get a handle on them and what they were. So you want to go first?
All right. So first one up is Call Me by Your Name. So Call Me by Your Name is basically so the actors are Timothy Chalamet, Armie Hammer.
Mhm, mhm.
Probably never heard of them. Uh, Rotten Tomatoes, they gave it a 95%.
Yeah, I was looking at your Rotten Tomatoes movies, and your Rotten Tomatoes are way higher ranked than mine. But I
I
have
was
a little.
shocked. Half of mine was above 95%. I was surprised. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, then you can stream it on Amazon Prime for $1.99.
Okay.
So basically, it's like a love story, but it's in Italy, and it's like a grad student. He meets. I'm not gonna like go into the whole thing, but a grad student that's living in this like house, this like family's house. He falls in love with the son, and it is a gay movie. So the two main characters are both men, but it's not like Brokeback Mountain. It's not
I
like
was gonna say, as soon as you said that, my mind went to Brokeback Mountain.
no,
This
it's
looks like a kind of a tear jerky type of. Is it
yeah,
gonna
it's
be a yeah?
emotional. It's definitely emotional.
Mhm.
They get the name of the because I read the book on audiobooks, and they get the name of the title from when they say, "Call me by your name, and I'll call you by mine." It's really sweet.
Okay. All
And
right.
there's like really good music stuff. Jen Stevens is in one of the like one of the main songs is his "Mystery of Love." There is a infamous sex scene with the peach involved,
All right.
and that's I don't know. Should I go on? Is that enough of a pitch? Do you want to watch it? I mean, probably.
It's possible. So this is the type of movie that maybe I would watch it, but I don't know. I don't think I could do a tearjerker tonight.
Yeah, that's fair.
So might have to be. This might have to go on my future list. There's too much crappy stuff going on already.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it for like a quarantine night movie,
Yeah. Yeah.
like a
Exactly.
Saturday afternoon or something maybe.
Right. Right. All right. So I'll go with one. I'm gonna start with Laggies. So I really like this movie, and I like pulled it up. I was shocked that 65% on the tomato meter,
Ooh,
50% for the audience score. So I feel like it's very polarizing, I guess, but it's a perfect like quarter life crisis type of movie where, just avoiding all responsibility and like bailing on everything is kind of the premise of this movie. Basically, it's one of those movies where it's kind of weird because the plot is just like so unexpected, and that's kind of what makes it funny.
okay.
Kind of the kind of movie that just caught me at the right time. So as I was going through my quarter life crisis, this 28-year-old protagonist is like running away from everything.
Who's this
So
guy?
I am terrible with actors. Keira Knightley is like the main
Oh,
character.
wait a second.
Mhm.
I've seen. Oh, so okay. This is Steve Carell, right? Or
No, he's not in this.
okay. There's some. I think I know where. So she's the main character.
Yeah, she's the one that like basically the movie kind of follows around.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, yeah. I've wanted to see this movie for a little while now.
It it's a really good one. I would recommend it, and it's the type of movie you could watch in quarantine. It's not like super sad. It's kind of like
Okay.
you know positive outcome
I'm like
overall.
50-50 on if I'd watch it tonight, but
Okay, all right. Well, we have four more.
yeah, I've got more. Ready for my next one?
Yeah.
All right. So Coco. This is okay. I picked a lot of tearjerkers, but this is a Pixar movie. The voice actor is this guy, Gael Garcia Bernal from the Motorcycle
Mhm,
Diaries,
mhm.
like a movie from a while back. So Rotten Tomatoes gave it 97%.
I see that you're you're picking some highly ranked
I
stuff.
didn't, I didn't plan that. It's such a good movie. It's so underrated. Like Pixar did not give it enough, like I feel like press. It's basically this movie about this little kid who is in Mexico, and he like has a really strong knit family, but they don't accept music into their world. And he like
Mhm,
secretly plays the guitar in his like little garage attic, and he just goes on this adventure and then finds himself in the land of the dead, which is like you probably heard of that from like the Day of the Dead for like from the Mexican
mhm.
holiday. Um, Yeah, and it's such a cute movie. It really helps. I feel like I thought about my dog a lot when this movie, because it's like they deal with like loss, and it's really sad, but it's just really cute and sweet and endearing. So
Okay,
yeah, I can read you one of the lyrics real quick.
go for it.
Remember me, though I have to say goodbye. Remember me, don't let it make you cry. For even if I'm far away, I hold you in my heart. I sing a secret song to you each night we are apart.
Too sad, too sad. I can't deal with that. No, it is really funny. This is completely unrelated to the movie, but I tried to pull up the trailer for this to like watch it to talk about it. And you know, like when a different browser window pops under and like you're hearing the audio from one thing and you're watching the video to
Yes.
this.
Oh,
So
that's
there was, yeah, so it was like some really weird like coronavirus stuff going on in the background, like the audio, and I'm like, what the hell is this movie about coronavirus? Like, how did they make it so quick?
they
Oh,
predicted actually.
yeah.
All right.
All right. I'm gonna go with my second quarter life crisis movie. So this one kind of I watched this back to back with Laggies, like at the time, however many years ago that was. And first off, it has Kristen Bell in it, which, you know, if you have a Kristen Bell movie, I don't
Oh,
really care much.
she's the best.
Yeah, I don't really care much more about the plot. It's called The Lifeguard,
The lifeguard. Okay.
and another like 30-year-old fleeing responsibility type of movie. Really weird, right? I don't want to give too much of the plot away, but she like runs away, goes home, lives with her parents, and then goes back to her job that she used to have when she was like a kid of lifeguarding at the local pool.
Okay.
So it's just like a good movie about like a 30-year-old regressing into their like 15-year-old self.
Yeah.
And very funny, kind of serious, kind of heavy, definitely a little bit more heavy than like Laggies was. Laggies definitely a little more lighthearted. This has some like pretty heavy stuff in it, but definitely very good. Highly recommended.
She reminds.
And this one, tomato meter 16%. Like, how is that possible? That like a Kristen Bell movie gets
Yeah.
16%? That just doesn't make. She should get like a 40% buffer just for like being in the movie, even if the movie
Yeah.
was about nothing.
Yeah.
26% audience score. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just picking really crappy movies. Maybe I have like really shitty taste in movies.
No,
Is what
I
we
mean
might be learning here.
they're probably good. It's just I don't know. They're more maybe eclectic, maybe like not the mainstream kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that could have been my life if I didn't like do things that I want. I don't know, not do things, but
that
like
still might be my life. I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
it might be my life someday too. Because I was a
Yeah.
lifeguard, and I might, if one, I
Oh,
always
okay.
I like fantasize about like that. Not fantasize, but that was like one of my best jobs is being a lifeguard. And, like I could just go and read books all day and swim in the pool and see old people. So
Yeah, I feel like the future for me still could be in the frozen food department because that was my my go-to job, and yeah, still might be my future. Haven't decided
yeah, I could train you.
yet.
All right, so my next one up is, in my opinion, a classic. Okay, it's
Mhm.
Memento. Um, Rotten Tomatoes gave it 93%. Again, I'm just picking all these winners.
Yeah, really.
Yeah,
Audience score 94%.
yeah. Oh shit. So it's just such a weird movie. Like the way it's shot is just very cinematic, very like captivating. The main character is like trying to piece together his wife's murder. I honestly don't remember the whole. Like I looked it up, but I don't remember the whole. Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say when I looked this up, I kind of feel like I might have watched this at some point because it was from what 90 or 2000,
2000.
right? Yeah, I feel like I might have seen this at some point, but I just can't quite like remember it. And the movie, from what I read in the plot, is about not being able to remember. So I thought that was kind of a coincidence.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Yeah.
that's very fitting for me too. There is. I don't want to like give anything away, but it's very much worth watching. I would say.
All right.
Kind of mind fuck a little bit.
I say of all of your movies that I pulled up, I think this might be the one for at night for
Yeah.
me.
This.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. This. It's really good. But yeah, that's it. It's just a all around solid choice.
Okay, my next one isn't even rated by Rotten Tomato. They just straight up don't. There haven't been enough people that have
Okay.
watched this movie,
Okay.
and the audience score rated it at 18%.
Oh
And that was 133 users. And I feel like there's 20 people out there that are going to be like my best friends because like this is just such a weird movie, I guess. It's called Bad Roomies. It's kind of a relatable premise, right? It's a pretty straightforward premise of these two guys that take in a roommate, and kind of antics ensue from there. But just like the weird ass humor in this movie kills me, and like it's really well done in terms of the comedic timing in this movie. It's not the greatest movie ever, but definitely good for a couple of laughs and good time for that, I think.
So is it like it's more of a comedy, would you say?
Yeah, it's kind of like a dark comedy, and I don't know any of these like actors or actresses. I don't know like um I don't think any of them are really like mainstream big type of actors or anything like that, but
Yeah.
definitely in terms of a dark comedy, kind of like a kind of a sick sort of sense of humor. If you have that,
Kind of like Cruel
then you'll like
Intentions,
this.
almost.
Yeah, it's a little lighter than that in terms of the plot, but like yeah, just the humor itself is just like really bizarre, I'd say, which is you know why I like it.
Fair. Yeah, I see. I'm watching a little like clip of that.
Oh, and we yeah, I was gonna say well, one thing that we've been forgetting to do. Um, this is on Netflix, and I think the other two, Laggies, I think Laggies and the Kristen Bell movie are also on Netflix. So free.
Yeah, yeah. Most of mine are not free. Most of mine are like on Amazon Prime for one or $2 or $3. Coco's on Disney Plus. So.
Yeah, and somebody told me today that people sometimes steal movies. I've never heard of that,
Ooh,
but
I don't.
yeah.
I couldn't tell you. Okay, my next one. I just changed it out, so it's gonna be different. Well, I didn't change it out, but so it's Jane the
Mhm.
Virgin. Um, so it's basically like a modern day telenovela series. It's a TV series. I'm on season 4 right now, and I'm in love with it. It is like I never thought I would get so attached to characters that I have like nothing in common with. Um, they're just
And
like
I'm just looking, is this Netflix
this is
or
Netflix. Yeah, it's free on
okay,
Netflix.
cool.
Um, so this basically the in the first episode you find out a girl who is saving herself for marriage. She's not having sex. She gets artificially inseminated by accident with a guy's sperm that she knows from her job. So she's pregnant, a virgin pregnant lady, and no, she's like only 23,
Just like
and
just like Mary from the Bible, man. That's crazy.
yeah, that's what I mean. They started to. There is a point
Oh,
that they like reference that,
like
but
an immaculate conception.
yeah, it's kind of a joke. Like these nuns are like using her as like a bait for them to get to their
All
school.
right.
But it's just
This
so
sound,
good. Like the characters are lovable, and there's twists and love and excitement and danger and all this stuff. So it's really good.
this sounds like something I could watch. I don't know. I don't know if I have like how many seasons is it? Three, four,
4, I think 4.
five. Wow. Yeah, I think that's a little dangerous because I feel like I could get into something and binge watch, but maybe I'll give that a shot.
Yeah, I haven't binge watched too much, but this is one that I have. So
All right, so now I got to my movies that were highly ranked. I saved those for the end. Mississippi Grind free on Netflix, which is good. 91% on the meter, 55% audience score, which I don't understand that. So it's ranked high by the critics, not high by the regular people that rated it. But I really like this movie. It's kind of not a chick flick at all. It's kind of like a dude flick. So just like heads up, you might not dig it. It's about what's his name? Ryan Reynolds, main character. Love Ryan Reynolds movies. He both of these characters, him and Ben Mendelsohn. Do you know who that is? Yeah, I don't know either. He's like kind of looks very familiar. Like I've probably seen him in a lot of other movies. Um, but they both just play these like degenerate gamblers and pretty much traveling around the country like trying to make some money. Big fan of this because like one of my fantasies is to like run away from home and just like go gamble and never like have to have a job again. So think I relate to it from that standpoint. And it's like Ryan Reynolds' character is like just roaming around the country with this like dope leather like night bag, and I think that's like all of his earthly possessions. So very relatable, at least in terms of like my fantasy for life. Um, just a feel good story too. It's a little long, I would say. So you got to like really dedicate a solid like what is it like 2 hours? I think. Oh no, yeah, about 2 hours. So a little bit more than 2 hours. So got to be like ready for that.
Yeah.
But I'd say definitely worth it. And forgot, yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, I feel like your movies have a theme, a general theme.
Running away from home, yeah. I guess that's. I guess when you're stuck in home for like 3 weeks, maybe you
Yeah,
start to feel that.
that's true. Yeah, there's it's so weird. Yeah. Okay, so my last movie. This movie will fuck your mind up. I've been cursing a lot. I'm sorry, but
I just want to say, like, when I pulled this up, the like photo makes me so uncomfortable.
it's a cringe. Is it the
It's
braces?
a
The braces?
Yeah, there's a photo of two people that look like they just kissed, and they both have braces, and they're like a spit loogie. Like that's not allowed anymore in in the
They're adults with
coronavirus
braces.
world.
Yeah, it's fucking the whole movie.
Okay, but go on.
Yeah, the reason why I want people to watch this movie is so that they can relate to me and see how weird it is. Like, not bad,
Hmm.
but just like, so you can be like, that was so weird. Um, yeah, so
So
this,
this is like your version of Bad Roomies, then,
yes, sort
like in terms
of,
of like just a weird
yeah,
humor, but relatable.
yeah, sort relatable, not really, but
No, relatable to you, like to
um,
your specific like weird sense of humor.
I guess, yeah, yeah, yeah. The guy from Beck Bennett is in it from SNL. And
Okay.
then Rotten Tomatoes gave it 80%. Um,
Yeah, I was so shocked, like just seeing that photo and then seeing it 80%. I'm like, how did all that movies got ranked so poorly?
this is probably jigged or something, but I don't know if there is a plot to this movie other than weird, like um, like all the adults have braces, and all of the like the mother of this child just like gives away her baby one day to her friend, and all this other lady like picks up a soccer ball, puts it under her dress, and suddenly she's pregnant. Like like she gives birth to the soccer ball, and they like act as if it's a real child. Um, I
And
can't.
I saw somebody like gave away a baby at some point in the trailer, like,
Yeah, she gave
or
her
yeah,
actual baby away, and like without even consulting her husband, or and she wasn't sad about it. She was just like, "Hey, do you want to take her?" And the lady was like, "Yeah," and she's like, "Okay," and then she just takes the baby. Um, it's kind of, I think, a little bit of take on society, like comparing people, like comparing lives to other lives, and like who's got the greener grass or whatever. So
yeah, it looked a little like Stepford Wives ish,
yeah,
in terms of the trailer.
yeah, it's a little bit like that, but weird, just weird.
All right, if I can find it, it looks like it's only on Apple TV or something like that. But if
I
I
think
could
it was
find it
on
on,
Hulu. I think we had it on Hulu, but I don't know
hmm,
if it's still there.
yeah, I'll have to see if I can track that down. This one I kind of want to watch just because it's so weird.
Yeah, I think you'll like it. I really think you'll like it.
uh, all right, last one. This is again 85% on the tomato meter,
Okay.
54% audience score. So very polarizing, I guess, is the theme to all of my picks. Movie's called Win It All. It's on Netflix, free, so that's good. Free if you have Netflix, which who doesn't have Netflix? Um, and it's another gambling movie, so kind of a theme there.
Okay.
This one is a little bit different. Like the whole plot of this movie is very funny, where this guy's just like a down and out gambler, like owes everybody money type of thing, and some guy that he knows is going to prison and gives him this bag of money and tells him like, if you watch this bag of money while I'm in prison, I'll give you 10 grand when you get out. And then it's like the whole time he's got this bag of money in his apartment and he's got the itch to gamble it. but he's like doesn't want to do it because he'll get killed, and then like he eventually does it, obviously, and then that's kind of the beginning of the movie where he like gambles away all this money, and now it's kind of like a redemption story of him trying to get all of this money back in the bag before this guy gets released from prison.
Mm.
A little bit, again, like a little bit heavier than Mississippi Grind, but and like
What's it called?
it's called Win It All. Definitely like a little heavier, but it's just a good
Oh,
movie
it's
all
with the
around.
guy
Like,
from it's with the guy from The New Girl. Is that him?
Jake Johnson. I don't know what he's from.
Jake Johnson. Yeah, I think he was in hold on, I think he was in New Girl. Yeah, he was in New Girl. He
Oh,
was
apparently he was in Spider-Man. Is that right? Wow. So I guess he's in some stuff.
he's
I'm
41
really
years old. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that's my take. It's a kind of a feel good redemption story type of movie.
Is it like
And
inspiring kind of thing? Like
yeah, I mean, I think it's like, you just feel good for the guy. You feel like it's like somebody that's just like down and out, and then they're like road to try to like get back. So it's kind of like a feel good story where you're kind of rooting for him through this like crazy situation.
okay. That's cool. No, that one seems like a good one. I think what was the one that I said I was gonna watch out of all them so far?
Um, I think Bad Roomies would probably be. Oh, I think like you said, Laggies was the one that you were thinking about watching.
Maybe. Yeah. Let me see.
And I think that like Bad Roomies was like one that I think you'd probably relate to and enjoy.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know if I'm even. I might just watch Jane the Virgin tonight because I'm kind of.
After all this, all right, I'm gonna give Memento a try, and then um, maybe try to find that weird one. What was it called?
Gregor
Um,
Grass.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to track that down in the meantime.
Cool.
All right.
All
Well, if
right.
anybody actually sat down and watched this, like, let us know if you found a suggestion in here that you liked, or that you thought was, or if you think we're both fucking crazy now, based on our taste in movies, and suggest some stuff, and let us know if you want us to do this again.
Yeah. I did know that.
All right.
All right. Cool.
Enjoy. Bye.